What's going on, everybody? This is John J Gaming on the mic here, coming at you with a brand new episode of the Dayton Triangles franchise here on Madden 25, and our journey in the UFL playoffs officially starts now. We're in this series with 31 other UFL franchises to make a revamped spring league, and after some grinding, we are here in the playoffs, and we come in with one of the best records in the league. We come in at 13-4, and that 13-4 record was in fact good enough for us to secure the number 2 seed in the AFC part of the UFL. Our journey begins in this episode here in terms of making our way to that UFL championship, and it starts with a team that we played earlier this season in the DC Defenders, a team that we did end up beating. But DC is a decent football team. They finished the year 9-8 and got the final wild card spot, getting it over teams like Pittsburgh and St. Louis as well, and Albany, who was in their division. And with DC playing in the best division in football, the only division on the AFC side to get free teams, this is certainly not a team to scoff at, even though they're the number 7 seed. They also come in with a solid defense as well, with the 7th best defense in the UFL, but we come in as one of the most complete teams in the league ourselves. We come in with both a top 10 offense and also the best defense in the entire league, allowing an average of less than 17 points a game. So the translation is, if we can come out and score 20 points, we will always have a good shot to win the game, and we'll see if that holds. So with that being said, we got some great action coming up for us here today, and I hope you guys are excited. If you are, make sure you go ahead and smack that like button, hit that subscribe button as well if you happen to be brand new. And before we jump into the action, we got a couple of things that we need to take care of, as well as a major injury that happened in our practice that could hurt us offensively. But first, we actually were fielding a couple of text messages. One is referring to a goal that we put way back in the preseason. And listen, we were able to go ahead, we locked it down. And so, because we were able to meet that goal, our entire defense is able to earn 2,500 XP apiece, which I'm extremely excited about. That means our defense is going to get better at a rapid rate. And you know what they say, defense can in fact win championships, which leads into our defensive coordinator mentioning that there could be some issues that we could run up against, as we are taking on, like we mentioned, the DC Defenders in the playoffs. But our offense comes in a little bit concerned about Delane Dillon and what he could possibly do to our offense and be like a disruptor for both the passing game and the running game as well, but more so like passing the football. And so it's a big week for Isaiah Connor, who we're going to need him to work on his technique, be fundamentally sound in order to give us the best chance to move the ball offensively. Alright boys, so we come out of and taking a look at who is getting upgrades, and man, do we have a ton of guys getting upgrades. Now, at this point in the year, I want to make sure that the scheme fit works as well as humanly possible. So, with all these guys getting upgrades, I'm going to start with Matt Weaver. Matt Weaver, obviously our best defensive tackle. He comes in as a 91 overall, and I want to work on run stopping to continue to be that kind of threat for us. And Matt Weaver actually jumps to a 92 overall with pluses to block shedding and pursuit. Also getting an upgrade is Grayson Heineck, and for Grayson Heineck, I'm going to work on the vertical threat that will carry him up to an 88 overall, plus make him a scheme fit as he gets a +2 to release, among other things. Denario Allen did not play in the last game, but because we got that 2,500 XP bonus, Denario Allen does get an upgrade, which we will use for zone coverage, where he now becomes an 88 overall. He will have a +6 to play recognition. That is a really nice upgrade to have. You love to see it. Also getting upgrades as well is Cameron Spencer. I'm actually surprised that Cameron Spencer is only showing as like an 84 overall. But he's not really a very good scheme fit for us because his weakness is pass coverage. I definitely want to go ahead and try and address that here. He now jumps up to an 87 overall thanks to the upgrade, as he will get a +3 on man coverage, showing why he's an excellent X factor. Also getting an upgrade is Jared Strong, who has turned into a really good number 3 corner for us, and I want to work on his man-to-man to make sure he continues to develop extremely well. He now becomes a 79 overall with the +2 to man coverage that we were able to go ahead and experience. Definitely is a starting caliber corner in the UFL nowadays. Also getting upgrades is Justice Freelove, and Justice Freelove, you know, he's developing pretty well. We're going to work on his agility here in this one, but he's going to remain at a 75 overall with +2s to pass block and run block finesse as well, because he is remaining at 74 overall for the time being. He is probably going to continue to be really our third tackle. If one of our tackles do get hurt, he would come into the game, but, you know, he's developing all right. Also developing okay is Nas Evans, and Nas Evans, we're going to work on the speed rusher upgrade here, make him more of a scheme fit and make him a 73 overall with the pluses to finesse moves. We're getting closer to finding out what his hidden development trait is. Sitting as a hidden dev, we're morphing halfway in terms of getting some downs played for him. Meanwhile, other players getting upgrades include Chris Gentry, who did actually start for us in the last game, and we will use a zone upgrade on him. Actually is a pretty good backup to have with the +2 to zone coverage. Can definitely step in like in limited moments to provide relief for Denario Allen. Also getting an upgrade is Johnny Sullivan, who, you know, I thought played all right in the last game that we played against Memphis. We will get that pass coverage like upgrade for him. He's now a natural 70 overall with a +2 to man coverage as well as a +3 to zone. Getting upgrades as well is Quentin Gillislee. And Quentin Gillislee, we're going to work on his man coverage here, and he's going to remain at a 69 overall, which, you know, is a fine like backup to have, you know, with the +2 to man coverage. And then the last person getting upgraded is Cameron Oliver, who we're going to work on his field general here. He jumps up to a 65 overall, so at least he's good enough to be a backup for us, but he's definitely a low-end backup that I like to avoid having on the field if we can help it. Still needs time for a little bit of development, so to speak. But then we get some extremely disheartening news. While we were getting ready for the game, while we were practicing, one of our key players actually sustained an injury in practice. He broke his finger while trying to catch a ball, and he is going to be out for our upcoming matchup against the DC Defenders. So what that does mean is that our starting lineup is going to remain the same from a receiving standpoint as what we had when we were going to work in terms of like resting our key players. So DeAndre Bazier is going to be the wide receiver 1, and then expect to see a little bit more of Mitch Woodson, Champ Johnson, and Michael Thomas as well, as we're going to need those guys to step up, because not one person can replace the production that Leon Thomas can provide. So with all the prep officially underway, the moment that you have certainly been waiting for, we are now ready to jump into the wild card of the UFL playoffs, taking on the DC Defenders, who come in with that 9-8 record. So we'll see what kind of problems that they give us, as DC will start with the ball and actually will pick up a first down through the air, as the DC Defenders looking to set a tone here on this opening drive, and they certainly do that here, getting a first down on the very first play. But a few plays later, we do force DC to go 3rd and long, and they are really letting this quarterback drop a bunch in the pocket. Thankfully, nowhere left to go, as Nas Evans, the 2nd round rookie and one of your guys' custom players as well, was able to apply the pressure And so that eventually does end up leading to us getting the ball back. This will be our first possession of the day, and I'm hoping that we can set a tone as DeAndre Bossier gets it started. He will get a nice little catch there of 5 yards on the play. So to make sure that we're in a much more manageable position. 2nd and 5. This is very manageable and an easy first down to pick up for Jonathan McGriff, who's going to pick up that first down, but at a price though. We do end up losing John Johnson, our starting center, on that particular running play. So Johnny Heck, our backup center, is going to come into the game here, and right away we realize we are going to miss him a little bit as we end up giving up a loss of 5. And I mean, there were certainly some losses across the board there. Thankfully, the good news is that it is just a pectoral strain, so we don't have to worry about like losing him long term, but we are going to keep him out at least momentarily just to be on the safe side of things. As we'll now jump into a 3rd and 4. We go with a 5-wide set with Grayson Heidick in the slot, trying to get it out to Will Hunter, but Will Hunter, he does not run a deep enough route, and because he fails to run a deep enough route, we had to punt the football away ourselves. So neither team able to score on their opening possession. So we'll go ahead and jump into our 2nd possession as we do force the DC defenders to go 3 and out. As we will crouch midfield, Cower in the shotgun. He's going to look around for a second, steps up to avoid the pressure, and finds the veteran Will Hunter for his 2nd catch of the day. And also for the first time today, we are in opposing territory, looking for some points as we look to put up the first points here in the wild card playoff. But first, we have a major injury on our hands. DeAndre Bossier, he is in some pain and actually has to leave the game. Hopefully it's not a major injury, because now our receiving core is looking a little thin right now. Gonna have to rely on guys like Mitch Woodson, who's gonna get the pass and makes the catch. Now in red zone opportunity. That's Mitch Woodson, called off the bench and makes a contested grab right away. First down for the Dayton Triangles, as now it's going to be 1st and goal after a successful first down run by Jonathan McGriff, and one of the defensive linemen for the DC defenders also goes down as well. But yeah, man, 1st and goal from the 4-yard line. Cower throws to the left-hand side and finds the rookie out of Oklahoma State into the end zone. And your Dayton Triangles are going to take an initial lead. We're going to be up 7-0. So now that we have a 7-0 lead, this is where our defense can really thrive, because we can make teams one-dimensional real quick if they start to panic. And oh baby, I bet they're starting to panic now after a huge return, after yet another 3 and out that was in fact forced by our defense. And so this team that just scored a touchdown the previous drive is going to be starting out at the 37-yard line. We're going to start for Brandon Butter, a run up the gut for Jonathan McGriff, who is going to ride that offensive line for a good gain. And that's going to actually take us for the end of the first quarter. We're only going to be up 7-0. However, our offense is on a drive, and they're looking to extend that lead. Now, with that being said, we'll go ahead and jump into the start of the second quarter here as we face 3rd and short. Now, the conventional wisdom here is we could run it, but instead, we're going to pass the ball out to Mitch Woodson, who runs away from the linebacker, and it's a big gain through the air as Mitch Woodson, utilizing his athleticism in order to go ahead and pick up a first down and set up a goal line opportunity, where a few plays later, we find Mitch Woodson again. Is it a breakout moment for the late round rookie out of Oklahoma State? Oh my goodness, it just might be, as now we will have a 14-0 lead. And we instantly have DC on the back foot right now, as that was also incomplete. So once again, we will have the DC defenders in a 3rd and 7. We'll see what Chambers and company decides to do as he'll motion the tight end over to the left-hand side. No, it's back to the right. It exposes our zone coverage. Throws the right-hand side, and we just didn't play tight enough coverage. Just maybe was expecting a little bit more of a go ball instead of that back shoulder throw, which was beautifully placed by the way. And it allows DC to be in our territory, but we're looking to kick him out. Chambers dropping back again on a 3rd and 6 and picks up yet another first down. The DC defenders, all of a sudden, they are putting together a little something of a drive right now. But can it be sustained, though? As they need another big-time 3rd down. But we might have helped them a little bit there. But no, it's not. It looks like it is going to be a false start penalty on the DC defenders. And so what originally was a 3rd and 11, it's now going to be 3rd and 16 as Chambers needs a big throw. Goes over the middle, and it's somehow caught. Are you serious right now? Peter Townsend had they had the straps on, and somehow still made that catch. What an excellent throw and an excellent catch. And it eventually leads to a touchdown as we send the blitz. And just for completely forgot about the running back. Dion Hitchcock could have probably had the easiest touchdown of his entire UFL career. And so we will have our kickoff return here. 14-7 your score. But it could change quickly as Michael Thomas, who's hardly played this entire regular season, he steps in as DeAndre Bazier was one of our return men and makes the most of his opportunity. Michael Thomas sets us up with phenomenal field position. We're starting out from the 42-yard line. So let's see if we can build off of that as Collar looks to the right inside to start the drive and finds Grayson Heineck down the sideline and eventually gets out of bounds, but not before moving across the 30-yard line. And once again, our team is looking for points, and we're looking to make the most of those points. What a chop block by Grayson Heineck. Probably would have been a penalty in real life. Not sure if you can do that, but it's Madden, so who cares? We are going to pick up the first down anyways. And another great throw, by the way, for Mitch Woodson. Mitch Woodson just having an excellent day. 5 catches, 51 yards, a couple of touchdowns, and also helped set up this 3rd touchdown thrown over to the custom Cam Johnson, the 2nd-year player out of Mississippi Valley State. And Champ Johnson is going to make it only a 20-7 game. We actually do end up missing the extra point. I don't know how we managed to pull that off, but we pulled it off. Maybe not taking DC all that seriously. Hopefully that doesn't bite us in the butt. Needing that extra point to not lose or something like that. So, with that being said, we have a chance to make the lead even bigger as Champ Johnson is going to win on a one-on-one on the outside. And that's going to be Champ Johnson's 2nd touchdown today. The champion of those outside routes, making it happen. And this time we will, in fact, get the extra point. So we are now up 27-7 in the DC defenders. It is certainly starting to get out of hand here in this first half. And so DC just trying to make something happen offensively, but runs into the superstar J.J. Peters, the former 1st-round pick. And then he throws it to another superstar in Peter Townsend, who gets the interception and brings it back all the way to the 25-yard line. First down coming up for Dayton. And so we do have a timeout that we can use in 47 seconds. Let's see what kind of magic we can create. Is now 1st and 10 for the 25-yard line. Collar looks around, doesn't like what he sees at first, but finds Mitch Woodson, who is simply having an all-around great day so far. We'll go no huddle because I want to see if we can punch it in quickly. Firing over the middle to Will Hunter. Really wanted it into his hands, but it's going to be incomplete though. Not sure if he was going to be able to get that first touchdown, even if he did caught it. But eventually on 3rd and goal, oh my gosh. Andrew Collar, how does he miss that throw? This is someone that could have been, it might be an NFL quarterback at the end of the year and just miss another touchdown throw. But an excellent first half. We do settle for the field goal, and we're going to be up 30-7, which reminds me of who's going to be possibly awaiting for us. If it's Boston, we'll play Boston. But if Boston loses, we would play the winner of the Houston Roughnecks and the St. Louis Lake City Condors. That will be what's waiting for us on the other side. And now we go ahead and we jump into the second half of action. It was an excellent first half by Andrew Collar. One filled with 4 touchdown passes, but he'll be the first one to tell you he should have had 5. And that's why he's not going to put the foot off the gas pedal anytime soon. So let's see what them boys can do here in this second half, as we'll go ahead and get things started here with a little bit of play action. As Collar throws to the right hand side, finds an open receiver in Will Hunter, and Will Hunter will get out of bounds and start yet another red zone opportunity, as that will lead up to a 2nd and 7 here, as we'll go ahead and run, nearly picking up the first down, but there is a flag on the field here. And it looks like it is, in fact, going to be a false start on the offense in Isaiah Connor. He got caught with the holding. And so instead, it's going to be 2nd and 17. Going to try to set up play action. Had a guy that was going to be open in the corner of the end zone, but just did not have the time to get that particular pass off. And so it now leads to a 3rd and 17. Going to be a big chance here to try to get points up on the board, and just didn't love what he saw upfield and just eats it. He might have had multiple receivers downfield, but felt like the picture that he was provided just was not working out, and also not necessarily trying to put the ball in harm's way there. You know, nothing wrong with taking a profit. We got a great kicker in Felipe Nichols, who, even though does miss an extra point earlier today, he does hit that long field goal. And again, the defense is playing extraordinarily well too, as we're going to be able to force yet again another 3 and out. Stop if you heard that statement before from us. And now it's going to be 33-7 as our boys are back on the field again. As 3rd and short, going to try to pick up the first down on the ground. And it was a lot closer than what I thought it was going to be, but Jonathan McGriff able to gut out those remaining yards needed in order to pick up the first down. As now, 2nd and 10 coming up. Collar is going to move a man in motion. Going to throw out to the right-hand side and gets absolutely lit up like a Christmas tree. Huge play for the DC defenders. And now it's going to be 3rd and long once again. Trying to move the sticks here on this 3rd and 16 as they go play action. Looks to the left-hand side and finds Grayson Heineck, who makes it interesting, but is going to be a couple yards short of the first down marker. And you know what? We're just going to go ahead, punt it away. But what I will end up saying, though, is that we do pin them extremely deep here to get things started in this 3rd quarter of action. They have to start things out inside the 10-yard line. So if you're DC, you definitely have to make sure you get at least 1 first down. Because if not, then, I mean, we're going to be starting at midfield. And you've seen how our offense is played today. But Peter Townsend, even though he has the X Factor turned on, he still gets up a long completion downfield. I thought you had the universal coverage, big fella. What are you doing? So instead, DC gets another set of downs, man. So now it's 2nd and short as Chambers tries to lead another touchdown drive as they're going to run to the right-hand side, and not a lot of space as both Paul Hitchens and J.J. Peters were able to converge on the tackle, but it is just barely across the first down marker as DC looking to actually get that running game going. It looks like they're actually finding some success here. They have not run the ball very often, so maybe it's a change of philosophy here, as maybe they're taking a different approach to try to cut into this 33-7 lead. As yet another run up the middle. It's a first down for the DC defenders. As now, 2nd and long coming up, as this is going to be the last play of the 2nd quarter. Throwing over the middle, it's going to find the first down. Brought down by the superstar corner, Peter Townsend. But at the end of the 3rd quarter of action, we have such a dominant lead. And just trying to make sure that we come out here and make it a formality. It's 33-7 after 3 quarters. So with that being said, welcome to the fourth quarter of action as we get things rolling here, 33-7. As Chambers throws over the middle and is going to find a soft spot in our zone coverage, able to find a few yards. But the big thing for us, though, is that we are actually, in a phenomenal spot right now, as you see that clock is continuously running, especially when they're keeping it on the ground like this. So, yes, we are still giving up first downs, but at the same time, though, we are really utilizing the clock as our friend right now. We have that absolutely on our side at this moment. As now, 2nd and 10 after the drop. Chambers throws over the middle. Is going to find his tight end, met by a gang of Dayton defenders, and will be just a couple yards shy of the first down marker. So we'll see how the DC defenders try to play this. If they're going to try to run it in, they are not. And that might be a terrible decision as Greg Sharp is able to get home. 3rd sack of the game for the Dayton defense, and it's the 3rd-year player who we drafted, I believe, like in the year 2 off season, able to come through and make some plays for us. So here we are now as we have 4th and 12, and they need the first down, and they're not going to get it. It's intercepted by Peter Townsend, and he's going to try to take it all the way, but it's going to be cut off. It looks like about the 25-yard line. Let's go, man. Peter Townsend making them plays for us. And we carry our own destiny in our hands right now. 33-7 is going to be your score. And we have a chance to finish this thing out as Collar throws the run inside. And we're going to remain aggressive. The backup tight end, Christmas, is bringing the holiday season early here in the Gem City. As that is going to be a first down for the Dayton Triangles. Before we bring it back for the ground game is Jonathan McGriff, who's shaking somebody out of the boots. And it's going to be another first down for DC. Carrying across the 40-yard line as well. And you already know this is Nicholas Felipe field goal range. But I'm sure we're thinking about a lot more than that as we wanted to throw to Grayson Heineck, the starting tight end. But that is going to stop the clock instead at 5:56. Got a little too cute there. So now, 3rd and 7 from the 35-yard line as we're going to throw to the right-hand side. It is the Champ Johnson is forced out of bounds, but gives us a brand new first down to work through. And so we have a chance to extend the lead. Here we go with less than 5 minutes left as Collar drops back, throws to the right-hand side. We had an open Champ Johnson. No! We missed him. That should have been a touchdown there. But instead, it's going to be 3rd and 10 with about 4:53 left. We're going to just go ahead and keep it on the ground and nowhere to go for Jonathan McGriff. So the defense is going to be able to stand tall for the time being. And so we had to settle for yet another field goal. But we're going to be up 36-7 though. So it seems pretty clear at this point. We are going to the divisional round. Like, it is going to take an absolute miracle to somehow miss the, lose this game, right? It's got to be like a Jacksonville Jaguars or a Los Angeles Chargers level of collapse. We're talking 28-3 situation. But it looks like it might not be happening here as they throw to the right-hand side. But Peter Townsend breaks it up, laying the boom on the tight end. He wants the pass interference, but he ain't going to get it, little bro. And now it's going to be 3rd and 10. Chambers needing a big play over the middle of the field. Finds a completion, but will be short of the first down marker. Denario Allen, the free safety, is going to be there initially on the tackle. And now they have to go for it. They have little choice. 4th and inches for Chambers. Sets a man in motion. Looks over right inside. And Peter Townsend is going to break it up. And Dayton will take back over yet again. With less than 3 minutes left to play in the game. And we have a chance to run down the rest of the clock as we'll hand it off to Jonathan McGriff, who gets a big hole. Trying to do a juke move to like the left or to the right. But just was a bad juke move. And probably should have been a lot more yards there. But still a good gain. Able to nearly pick up the first down as we will snap the ball one more time, as we will be going into like the 2-minute warning anyways. Jonathan McGriff will pick up yet another first down. And if we play our cards right, this game should be over. But, you know, we could do the sportsmanship way, or what we could also do is, well, we could also try to run up the score. And you know what? Screw sportsmanship. We're going to go and try to put points on that board. As we got 3rd and 7 coming up here with 1:12 left. As we'll throw it to the right-hand side. And look at that. Mitch Woodson is wide but naked open. Incredible work being done as Mitch Woodson finds the end zone. Touchdown, Dayton. And it puts an exclamation point on this ball game as the Dayton Triangles will move on to the divisional round after demolishing the DC Defenders here at home. So absolutely a complete performance as we dominate the DC Defenders in every facet of the ball game. Our offense looked really good. Our defense looked really good. We had some pretty good special teams moments, as well as I love how we came out here just to really show that we are a serious contender to win a championship. And it all starts with Andrew Collar, who had himself a career day, going 20 for 28 passing the football. He had 5 touchdown passes today, also throwing for over 330 yards. Andrew Collar was absolutely unstoppable. On the ground, Jonathan McGriff was certainly a solid and not a liquid or gas, as well as Jonathan McGriff runs for 117 yards. He also averaged nearly 5 yards a carry as well. We did try to get the receivers involved in the running game a little bit, just to, get him some extra touches, and, that had some mixed success. Speaking of mixed success, oh my goodness, how about Mitch Woodson with a career day? He hardly touched the field until the last week of the regular season, and he has an absolute breakout moment with his first serious playing time. 100 yards, 3 touchdowns, 7 catches. I mean, he really stepped up for us in this ball game. He was unguardable. And then Champ Johnson as well looked really good. 3 catches for 87 yards and a couple of touchdowns. Even though it's gonna suck, not having 2 of our top receivers. But, there's always a chance that we actually might be just fine, just depending on what ends up shaking out. Of course, the defense was a tone setter in this one as well. We made some plays across the board today. Paul Hitchens led the team in tackles. He had 10 tackles, most of which he did assist on. Peter Townsend was not too far behind with 6 tackles himself. We did also manage to get a few sacks in the ball game as Cameron Spencer, JJ Peters, and Greg Sharp were all able to get sacks in the ball game, completely making sure that we are applying that pressure at all times. But man, how about Peter Townsend, man? Lockdown corner. This young man is 2 interceptions, 3 pass deflections as well. V is a certified no-fly zone, and you can easily see why he is getting NFL attention. We're gonna miss him when he goes to the NFL, but man, he is such a gifted football player. So after the game, we were able to bestow ourselves an opportunity to upgrade one of our players. It's going to be Jordan Baptiste, our backup linebacker, who has continued to impress. We're going to work on being that scheme fit for what we're looking for, as we'll upgrade his field general in this regard, and Jordan Baptiste will then become a 73 overall with the +2 to man coverage that he gets as a result of that upgrade. But this game is going to provide a tremendous price to us, man, as DeAndre Bazier in that game actually breaks his ribs. So DeAndre Bazier is going to be out for the playoffs, and for 2 of our top receivers to be out for a good period of time, it's gonna be tough for us, to get anything consistent going offensively. I know that we had a great passing day with Andrew Collar today, but, having 2 of your top wide receivers out, that is always going to provide a unique challenge to us. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look around to see what is going to be happening around the league. So, Boston was able to beat the Memphis Showboats 27-17. and that is actually going to be our opponent in the divisional round, which will be happening in the next episode. We did play these guys in the regular season, and Boston absolutely blew us out. But we're looking to go ahead and try and get some revenge, seeing as they have to come onto our turf, but we are not going to Boston for this game. Meanwhile, other playoff games that did happen, Salt Lake City did blow out the Houston Roughnecks 34-0. And so the Salt Lake City Condors will travel to San Antonio to take on the San Antonio Brahmas, who have the #1 seed in our conference. Meanwhile, on the other side, we had a couple of upsets happen on the NFC side of things, almost free. The New Orleans Breakers nearly shocked the Louisville Thunder Thoroughbreds, but Louisville was able to find a way to come out on top. They will advance to the divisional round. They will take on the Philadelphia Stars, who won an absolute thriller in Atlanta, taking down the Atlanta Legends 31-28. Meanwhile, the other upset that happens is the Chicago Enforcers win a little bit more of a defensive struggle. They will beat the Arizona Hotshots, who had the best record in the league last season. Chicago will move on to take on the Charlotte Knights, who are the #1 seed over in the NFC. So we'll go ahead and get things rolling here in the next episode, as we will take on the Boston Mariners, getting to be back home in New Welcome Stadium, and we'll see if our boys can go ahead and come out on top. If you guys enjoyed this video though, make sure you go ahead and do a couple of things for me. Hit that like button, and then also hit that subscribe button as well if you do happen to be brand new to the channel. This is John J Gaming on the mic, signing off. Hoping you guys are all out there having a good one. Take care, everybody.